As the unemployment rate climbs higher than that of the Great Depression, Republican states have been quick to try to open, despite medical experts warning that a premature reopening will have a devastating effect on workers, on regular people, and on, of course, healthcare system. In fact, nearly 3 out of 4 Americans are concerned that their state will reopen too soon. And they tend to trust our country's medical professionals and their opinion on this, which, of course, is to wait to reopen until they have flattened the curve. So, that said, it hasn't stopped conservative governors from reopening places like Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina in order to stop people from receiving expanded unemployment benefits. Now, these are people like Tracy McFetridge. Now, she's a massage therapist in Springdale, Arkansas. And she stopped working in March after Governor Asa Hutchinson had ordered a halt to certain business activities, including, of course, nail salons, hair salons, and massage parlors, places where you have to be in very close proximity to your client, and in order to render their service. Well, seeing how coronavirus is spread through close contact with other people, you're able to get it from breathing in particles from the air when you're close to people. Well, that can present a bit of a problem when you're in close quarters with someone else. So understandably, a lot of those places were forced to close. Unfortunately, in a lot of these states, they have reopened massage parlors and nail salons and hair salons. So as a contract worker, McFetridge would not normally have been eligible for unemployment. Thankfully, thanks to the CARES Act that was signed into law, she had increased eligibility. It means that she, since she was closed down because of coronavirus, she was able to apply and receive unemployment. Now, I too am an independent contractor, so I understand that, right? We're not normally eligible for those benefits, but thanks to the CARES Act, people that have lost their source of income and are independent contractors are able to do that. And of course, Democrats fought to get that in. Now, as I've reported, many states have had some of their problems with their unemployment systems, some big problems. For example, Florida, you had a system that was set up and designed basically to fail. It was designed by former governor and now Senator Rick Scott in order to deny as many people as possible and to barely function. Now, because of this mass unemployment due to coronavirus, you have millions of people in Florida that are not able to get the benefits that they are entitled to. And this is happening in a lot of different places. And I said millions, it's millions around the country, but thousands, tens of thousands in Florida and other states. Now, despite closing down the economy back in March, McFetridge was finally able to file an unemployment claim because of that system, because of how bad it was, last Friday. So all that time was spent trying to get through this system. That same day that she was able to file her first unemployment claim, Hutchinson announced that businesses could reopen. One of those businesses is massage therapy. Now she's going back to work. What made it worse, the State Secretary of Commerce, Michael Preston, said that anybody claiming unemployment who refused to return to their job could get in trouble. Quote, "That's a fraudulent claim for us, and we will be tracking that." The response, of course, and how McFetridge felt after hearing that was this, quote, "At that point, I knew they wanted people off unemployment." It's no surprise, of course, that conservatives would take that position because they don't really care about workers. They don't give a damn. In fact, here's Lindsey Graham saying that he would extend those unemployment benefits, those federal unemployment benefits, over his dead body.
What have we learned? If you pay people $23 an hour not to work, they will take you up on it. It doesn't mean they're lazy. It means if you're going to pay them $23 not to work, they'll probably take that over $17 to go to work, even though people like working. So July the 31st is when this expires, and I promise you, over our dead bodies, this will get reauthorized. We've got to stop this. You cannot turn on the economy until you get this aberration in the law fixed.
Can't turn on the economy without paying people less. And that's the real animus behind this, right? Is these unemployment benefits with the $600 additional federal benefits are more generous than a lot of the workers normally take home. That's enough, of course, to make some of these workers think, well, wait a minute. If I'm making more, not risking my life and getting COVID-19 and then spreading it to my family, well, then hell yeah, I'm going to sit home. Well, but that's kind of the whole point. That's the whole point. You want people to stay home if they're not essential to limit the spread. I can understand essential, and we need to protect our essential workers, and unfortunately we haven't. But that's kind of the whole point of government in an emergency, and we are still in an emergency to provide for the people. And here's Lindsey Graham saying, no, we don't want to actually provide for the people. No, we're going to cut them off at the knees. Go back to work and put yourself in danger. There will be a huge spike in coronavirus cases as these states reopen too soon. So now, this week, McFetridge is one of those people that had to go back to work. Now, she gives massages, as I said before, and so she plans on taking her own safety measures, right? She plans on changing her shirt between clients, wiping down equipment as much as she can, but she says she's still worried. She's still concerned about her health. Quote, going back to work and coming back in contact with everybody else's bubble kind of makes me nervous. Then I understand. She also says that most of her clients have decided to stay home and stay safe. However, she said she's getting a new client and she's not exactly sure where that person's been, right? And what she's going to do. And so that's a problem, right? So not only, by the way, is she forced to go back to work at a massage therapist, right? Any new client she gets would be questionable because it's very possible that the people that are coming in as the state slowly reopens are the ones who had been calling for this in the first place. Do you really know or trust that these people had been doing proper social distancing or have been taking care of themselves to make sure they're not a spreader of coronavirus, or to make sure that they have been getting themselves tested if possible? Nobody knows any of this stuff. And so this is a huge problem. This is a very big problem. So now she will be getting some back unemployment, but at the same time, she is now ineligible for any more. And again, that is a big problem. Now, the U.S. Labor Department has said if somebody's employer wants them to come back, they're no longer eligible for those benefits. And this is if they work for someone else. If you're a contractor, you're generally considered a self-employed and will no longer also be eligible for those benefits if you're not actually affected by COVID-19. And that's what, of course, opening up these things will essentially lead to. So she has to go back to work. So another thing that Republicans are doing, other than just opening up the states and forcing people in dangerous positions to go back to work, is you have Republicans pushing for a bill to reduce the liability of corporations, to eliminate it if any of their employees get sick on the job. So that will allow companies to not be able to get sued by employees that contract COVID-19 on the job, meaning that these companies will not be able to protect, will not have to protect their employees because they know that if people get sick, well, that's okay. We can just get rid of them and hire somebody else, and they cannot come and sue us. And that's the thing. Now, when it comes to her situation, McFetridge, she's clearly not happy, of course, with her state reopening. She adds this, quote, the state should have played the wait and see game. All of that, I can definitely agree. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.